Welcome to week 12. This week we're going to dive deeper into the why. Why am I doing an Ironman? How did this come about? What craziness possessed me? And we'll obviously go through all the normal things we do each week. Stick around for the update, and thanks very much everybody for your support. Enjoy this episode. Welcome to my journey. We're going to take this and train it to compete in this. Yes, you heard right. This fat, unfit, middle-aged man is going to compete in the Cairns Ironman Triathlon 2024. That's a 3.8k swim, 180k bike ride, and a 42k run. Well, hopefully run. Starting 60 weeks out, you can follow me and see if I've got what it takes to make it all the way. Every week we'll have a new episode, and you can see the highs and lows, all the tears, all the blood, all the sweat, and there'll be lots of sweat. I hope you join me and enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do. We'll see you soon. Oh, and make sure if you see me out on the trail, say hi, give me some encouragement, or something like that. 10Ks again, and ran the first 8Ks, no stopping, not even a toilet break, so it's a new record for distance, that's for sure. Keeping a nice steady pace, about 7 kilometers per minute. 7 minutes per kilometer. That certainly wouldn't be a steady pace. So yeah, pretty happy about that. I think this week we will start increasing the kilometers. I'm gonna do six or 7 during the week, and then still do the 10 on the weekend just to ramp things up a little bit. But good start to the week, so legs are feeling pretty good after that, considering. And I didn't even get rained on, which was a nice bonus. This is my Sunday morning recovery. Actually, yeah, I mostly do it on Sunday morning, but if I get a bit of muscle soreness, this is how I recover. The magic gun. Oh, good lord, that's gets a bit tight in there, and I tell you what, it does a good job, but it is not a pleasant feeling the first time around. Oh, but well worth it, because it does certainly loosen everything up after a big run like that. Just thought I'd share that with you. I think I got a blister on my foot this morning as well, so it's a bit different. It's the first time I've run 8Ks, so I guess that could be the reason. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Well, it's Tuesday morning and it's cold. Cold for Townsville at least anyway. So, I had a bit of a bad afternoon yesterday. It's actually really hard to explain when your mind works against you. I'm not sure what started it. I was going to try and fast for the day because I didn't really have any heavy exercise to do. But ended up just feeling like shit in the afternoon. More mentally than physically. I just was all over the shop. I think when your brain, when it goes to the, let's call it the dark side, and all it sees is the negative, it's really hard to, steer the ship in the right direction. So yeah, it was just I don't feel like that now, but it just goes to show that even when you feel like you're getting everything right, things can just, take a turn for no particular reason sometimes. And I think for me, that was not surprising, but I was sort of like, I don't know, how do you you know, it just goes to show that you're not going to feel fantastic every minute of every day, and that's okay. You know, you just got to get through those times. And you know, I just distract myself. I just watched a TV show and, you know, went to bed, and when I woke up I feel better. So, you know, maybe that's not technically the best way to deal with it, but I don't know what else. You know, you can't just magically switch it off sometimes. Sometimes you just got to ride it out, and you'll come out the other side. For me, it's more, I'd like to understand it. You know, what made me? Did I watch one too many negative things on YouTube, or was it because I didn't eat? Was it because, you know, I don't know. I'm more curious about why than I am about that it happened. You know, sometimes you just feel shit, and that's okay, but I would love to understand why. But unfortunately, I lost my owner manual somewhere, and I can't figure out the error codes, so I'm just stuck with having to get through it and move on to the next thing, which happens to be a ride on a very chilly morning here in Townsville. So hopefully I don't come back with icicles, and it's windy as well, just to throw in some more fun. So anyway, it's not a big ride today. I'm not doing 100 Ks, thank God. So we'll see how we go. Well, that's my 30 Ks this morning done. It feels pretty good. Had a bit of time to think while I listened to my stories. I think part of the reason I struggled yesterday afternoon was perhaps that there's a bit of uncertainty about some things, you know, in the business and stuff at the moment in terms of long-term direction. And for me, I like to know where I'm going. I'm not very good at living in the moment, just being happy with whatever comes. I struggle with that. I don't know whether that's just me or what it is, but so just finished my run, and actually was on really good pace for the first 3.5 kilometers or so on new record pace, and then the last kilometer I still come in with 33.5 minutes, but which is close to my record, but I walked half the last kilometer, just still trying to get the balance right on my fueling. So I had a late lunch today at like 2:30 and ran at 3:30, but I don't know, didn't sit quite right, so that's not the right timing either. So still trying to work on that to get the right combination of when to eat for my afternoon runs. I always find it harder to exercise in the afternoon because my body's kind of, I don't know, I just find it much easier to exercise first thing in the morning. So yeah, I'm still working on that, but the idea is with these runs in the afternoon that they're meant to be harder, because I've done 30k ride in the morning, then I'm doing a 5k run in the afternoon, so it's meant to get your body used to being fatigued and then being able to keep going. So that's the whole point of the Ironman, I guess. So anyway, I done it. Done it. I finished it. That's enough. Kind of funny. The hill, which seemed so hard, 10 months ago when I first started, or whenever it was, now it just seems like a walk in the park compared to all the other training. So it's a good thing, really, I guess. So so today I am gonna delve more into the motivation side of things for me. Why am I doing it? I know that in the first video, which I'll put a link to up above in case you haven't seen it, I sort of went into the broad strokes part of it, but I wanted to dig a little bit deeper and go and give you a bit more of the history of the why part for me. So let's have a little walk up the hill, and I'll go right back to where the whole Ironman thing began for me. So once upon a time we lived in Townsville. I guess it must be 12 years ago or something now, and obviously I wasn't quite as overweight then, but I really thought I was. So, and I met someone through work, James, who had done the Cairns Ironman and used it as a way to lose a lot of weight. He was, I think, bigger than even I was at my biggest, and he'd done an amazing job. And so that's where the original seed got planted. And at the time I had started training, bought a bike, was doing 100k rides. I'd got up to, I think I was about 4 months out from the Ironman, and got made redundant. So, and whilst that wasn't the end of the world, what it did mean is that I had to take a fly-in fly-out job, and that was the end of the training. And that kind of was I guess that's probably where my real weight gain started. Up until then, I think I was probably, 105 kilos, which is still overweight for me, but nothing like I was last year at my peak. So that's, I think, not to blame being made redundant. It wasn't the fault of that. That was when I stopped exercising, and I didn't start really again until October last year, when I started doing Castle Hill 3 times a week. So, and so in between that 10 years, the idea was still in my mind. I still wanted to do it. I still had the dream of doing an Ironman before I was 50. Obviously 12 years ago, it was a lot further from 50. But even bought a new bike early last year with all good intentions, and it really didn't get ridden for 6 months, 8 months. It's getting ridden a lot now. So the dream was always there. It was just how do I get myself across the line? Because doing an Ironman isn't a little thing. It's not like being able to run 5Ks. Not that that's a little thing for some people, but for me, it's for anyone who's doing an Ironman, it's a big undertaking. So yeah, that's sort of where things got to. So that kind of gives you the background on where the idea came from. The why do an Ironman? Because I wanted to do something that proved to myself that I could do it, if that makes sense. I wanted something big, something that was meaningful, something that not anyone could do. Well, not everyone does anyway. I think anyone can do it. It's just a matter of choice. But I wanted, I guess I wanted a milestone in my life, a turning point. My health was going to be first priority after this turning point. I don't know how else to explain it really. But it needed to be big. It couldn't be, just couch to 5Ks. Wasn't enough for me. And putting it on YouTube has really actually been really helpful actually. Even though I'm no YouTube star yet, knowing that I've got to put it up every week, knowing that there are people, even if they're just my family, who are waiting to see it, and keeping me honest by having to do that has been really, really helpful. So also on the note of why, obviously the big reason why was to lose weight and make myself, you know, change my life really. And on that note, this week I can celebrate the first 20 kilos of my weight loss from my absolute peak at 145 sort of October last year, and now I'm down to 125 this week, and maybe even less by the end of the week, but right now so that's pretty exciting. Can't imagine carrying an extra 20 kilos up the hill, but I did. Somehow I managed. If I picked up 20 kilos now, I could carry a slab of water bottles into the house, which is, you know, probably less than 20 kilos, and I think, God, how did I get that up the stairs every day? But I did. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with 20 kilos so far. Doesn't always feel like it when I look in the mirror, but I know that it's a substantial amount. I do feel it, you know, just even things like tying shoelaces and little things. So, and to anyone out there who's watching this, who's overweight, who needs to lose weight, one of the things that I've really come to learn is that slower is better. So we all want to lose weight, you know, in a month, 2 months, whatever crazy time frame we give ourselves, because that's how you feel inside. You want it gone. You want it gone. Unfortunately, it took me 10 years to put it there, and it's going to take me, you know, 18 months to get rid of it, you know, if everything goes well. So I just want to, I know you've probably heard it before, but don't be too hard on yourself. Better to walk a marathon than run it and know that you can finish. So, and you know what? Once you start kicking some goals along the way, it gets a lot easier. Not that I'm saying what I'm training for at the moment is easy, but every little goal you kick gives you an extra little bit of motivation. Lets you make sure you realize that you can do it, that it is happening, and that all helps. So yeah, so a good news week this week. Very good news week. All the training's coming together really well. Losing weight really started, actually this week in particular has been particularly good for losing weight. Might even be a 2 kilo week by the end, so pretty happy about that. Yeah, it's all good. Just one last thing on the why part. I read a really interesting, I think for me it's about getting outside of my comfort zone too. I think this world we live in now is a very comfortable place. It's very easy to be comfortable. Comfortable's not always good for you though. I can attest to that. I've been very comfortable for the last 10 years. So comfortable that I started to look like I was a couch rather than just sitting on one. So I think moving forward, I want to put myself outside of that comfort zone. And the Ironman is certainly one way to be outside of the comfort zone, because there's nothing comfortable about doing that or the training for it. So, and I want to continue that theme through my life after the Ironman. Every year I want to do something that's really uncomfortable for me just to keep pushing those boundaries, keep making life interesting, keep making sure I don't build on that arse groove in the couch too much in the future. So still haven't worked out what it's going to be after the Ironman. There's a few crazy things out there, I can tell you, after having a look. So it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. Hopefully I've got some followers who can give me some ideas. Welcome to the weekly update. It's a pretty good update this week. You'll see that the weight's dropping again, which is fantastic. It's very exciting to be 20 kilos down from my original starting weight at 145. So, and the run is getting down as well. So I'm pretty happy. My run times are coming down much faster than I would have thought when I originally started. So very happy with that. Yeah, everything's coming along pretty well at the moment, actually. Quite happy with the whole scenario. I have to work out what my targets are again coming up soon. Probably after the Townsville Triathlon, we'll have a look at these numbers again and work out what my targets should be over the next 8 months leading up to the Ironman. But all in all, a really good week. Very happy with how everything's tracking. Okay, well that brings week 12 to an end. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Make sure you subscribe and click on the like button, it really helps. Next week we're going to focus on, I think, a bit more balance. My body's struggled a bit this week with the load, so I'm just going to keep trying to tweak things a little bit and try and keep everything on track. But otherwise it's been a really good week, good weight loss numbers. I'm just really happy with how everything's going, so stick around and see what happens next week.